You finally meet someone who makes sense. They are patient, they show up when they say they will, and their affection is incredibly clear. But instead of relief, you feel a quiet, creeping sense of suffocation. You take longer to text back, you start noticing minor flaws. You manufacture an argument out of thin air, slowly creating an invisible wall. Human beings are biologically driven to seek connection. We need it to survive. Yet the moment some of us finally encounter a secure attachment, our very first impulse is to escape. We spend years looking for a place to rest, only to burn the house down the moment we find it. This pattern usually leads to a heavy dose of guilt. You live with a persistent weight of feeling broken, cold, or incapable of intimacy. In reality, your brain is executing a highly effective, deeply ingrained survival mechanism. It is operating exactly as it was programmed to. To understand why you destroy healthy relationships, you have to look past the current partner. You need to identify what your unconscious mind is still trying to survive. A developing child looks to their caregivers as a mirror for how the world works. If parents are emotionally unavailable, or if vulnerability is punished, the child learns a harsh lesson. Psychologists call the resulting adaptation avoidant attachment. It is an emergency response to an environment where emotional needs were consistently ignored. The child's brain writes a new rule for existing. Relying on other people leads directly to pain. The safest way to live is through absolute emotional independence. Distancing yourself from others was never a conscious choice. It was impenetrable psychological armor, forged by a young mind with zero alternatives. Looking at this defense, we focus on the amygdala, the brain's threat detection center. In insecure environments, this region locks into hypervigilance, constantly scanning for emotional letdowns. The nervous system physically adapts, accepting chaos and distance as a standard closed loop of normalcy. Because this specific wiring associates tension with familiarity, actual environmental calm feels deeply suspicious. When things are stable, the brain assumes a trap is being set. Your nervous system is functioning like a backward biological smoke detector. It triggers a massive, blinding panic response, precisely because there is absolutely no danger present. When you place a consistently kind, loving partner in front of a nervous system wired for defense, the system short-circuits. Safety cannot be processed. Instead, your mind agonizes, waiting for the other shoe to drop. The peace of a secure relationship turns into a terrifying state of suspense. You start arguments, vanish, or create unnecessary distance just to relieve the unbearable psychological tension of expected betrayal. Pushing love away is rarely about destroying your partner. It is a desperate biological effort to return to the highly predictable, controllable state of being entirely alone. Your history of distancing serves as a series of preemptive strikes, born from an urgent, unconscious need to protect yourself. The tragedy is that this preservation strategy runs on entirely outdated software. Your adult brain is executing survival algorithms written by a powerless child. Your relationship history reflects the persistent, frantic movements of a survivor, still fighting a conflict that ended decades ago. Breaking this cycle does not happen by simply trying harder to love. It requires the mechanical, deliberate practice of nervous system regulation. Healing starts the moment you feel the physical urge to run, and you pause. You intellectually label that tightness in your chest as a false alarm from the past, rather than a true threat in the present. The ultimate act of bravery for an avoidant mind is holding your ground. It is sitting completely still and enduring the profound, terrifying discomfort of simply being safe. The psychological armor that protected you in childhood has become the very wall currently keeping you isolated and alone. The immediate threat has passed. Now the challenge is learning how to finally exist in the quiet of being known.